Hey guys, firstly this is my game week 23 preview, and these are my points. These are the points that I got, and I wouldn't want to bore you with all the stats and stuff. I just want to show you the points I got from the players this game week, and I'll strictly get into the main stuff of this video, and that is the low budget players that you should have going into game week 24 or for the remaining of the season. And I have categorized the low budget players in two categories. One that should be on the first team, and second is that can be in your bench and still help you a lot in your FPL game week. So here we go. Okay, then firstly we start with the low budget defenders that should be on your bench, and these can also play in your first team, but mostly I chose these defenders for the bench because these are mostly for when if your first team players get injured suddenly, or you just don't want to go empty-handed, so they can replace the injured player and get you some points. And well, these are very cheap players and who play all the minutes on the field. You can see the points and fixtures they have. They even have easy fixtures, so I chose those three players for upcoming game week 24 and for some more of the season. And well, the Martin Kelly, Thomas Edwards and James Tompkins. So I personally have Thomas Edwards in my team because he has been playing all the games right now, and recently he didn't play against Manchester United, but he is in my only bench because he's not in my first team. So I think for the 4 million price, which is I think 3.9 is the lowest point for defender, but he's 4 million and he will get you points, 1 or 2 points, because he won't be playing in the first place. And so I think this is a decent choice for a bench player. And secondly, it's Martin Kelly for Crystal Palace, and he's been playing all the games, and he will get you the points because he will be good for your bench, and his fixtures are decent too. I think this for the game week 24 is pretty rough, but all the other games are pretty cool. And firstly, mainly this is very cheap player for 4.2, and you will be putting him in the bench. So I do think although these fixtures are difficult, it won't matter because these players are only for the purpose of getting few points if your first team players are injured. So I do think both James Tompkins and Martin Kelly, you can use both of them, or Thomas Edwards, because he's more cheaper. He's just 4 million, and he will be playing all the minutes and getting you the points. So these are the defenders for the purpose of replacing your first team players, just in case there's certain injuries or the player can't make the game. Okay, then moving on to the low budget defenders that should be in your first team, and I went for Adam Creswell, Maguire, Phil Jones and Zabaleta, and here two of them are center backs. Well, I don't suggest you to keep center backs as the defenders, because if you are gonna choose the defenders in your team, go for the fullbacks, never go for the center backs. But in this case, the goalkeepers are pretty strong in both the teams, and firstly in the Harry Maguire's case, he's been very consistent all the season, and he does bring you good points, and this is mainly because of Schmeichel. Schmeichel is a very good keeper, and he will keep you the clean sheet, and the fixtures are pretty easy too, and they're not playing any other cup except for the Premier League. I mean, they're not playing the Champions League, so there won't be problem of fatigue and stuff. So I do think even though Harry Maguire is a center back, you should go for him because he's pretty. I think 5.4 is decent for him. And another player that you should go for is Phil Jones. And I chose Phil Jones just because of De Gea, because De Gea does keep a lot of clean sheet, and he tries. I mean, even if he doesn't, he tries. And well, in Phil Jones' case, he is playing all the game consistently, and I do think the defense has been pretty strong now since Valencia has came. It will be stronger, so I do think Phil Jones and Harry Maguire, although they are center backs, these are the center backs you should go for. And another two players both are from West Ham United, and this is because of the fixtures they have and the consistency in playing the game. They have been playing all the games right now, and you can see as they both are fullbacks, and the price are I think pretty cheap. if you look at their form and the fixtures, and Zabaleta, he is a player with a lot of experience, and he's been playing all the games right now. You can see the minutes he has played. Although these are not pretty good points, but upcoming fixtures are pretty easy for West Ham United, and I do suggest you to choose West Ham United defenders. So yeah, these can be the low budget defenders that you can choose for the upcoming game week 24 and more. Well, okay then, moving on to the low budget midfielders that should be in your bench, and these are the players only if for crisis. I mean, I wouldn't put these players in my first team. These are players only recommended if in case of the crisis, or I mean for substitution, just when your player gets injured or something like that, and suddenly they can play the game and they can replace you and give you some points. Honestly, personally, I would never recommend defensive midfielders. They just don't deliver the points. But these are the best three players I think you should choose if you want them in your bench, just in case for the crisis. And well, I went for MacArthur, Tom Carroll, and Romeo. And firstly, I chose MacArthur because he does score goals when he has the chances. And well, and this is the cheapest point, and he will play every game. Although he won't deliver the greatest of points, but he will play all the games. So I did choose MacArthur for that. And another player, Tom Carroll, is that all the Swansea are pretty much in swamp right now. They are not playing well, but although that's the problem, Tom Carroll does play every little game, so he will get you even at least 1 point just in case for the crisis. And the fixtures are not in the favor of Swansea, but as I told you, these are not for your first team, these are only for your bench. And the fixtures of MacArthur also, these are, I think, first, Arsenal are not playing that well as well, so you can tell what's gonna happen in this match. But still, if for bench, I think these are good players. Just in case you don't have enough money for the midfield and all the stuff, these all these three players are, I think, even good enough for the first team. But I wouldn't personally play them in my first team. I personally chose this only for the bench, just in case you have a crisis or something. And well, these players actually play all the minutes and give you at least some points just in case for emergency. So I do think these are great players, great cheap players for the bench. Okay then, and now we go for the midfielders, low budget midfielders that should be, or maybe I think they can make in your first team. And without a doubt, this be Marco Arnautovic and Lanzini. They have been just awesome in these game weeks right now. They have been in pretty good form. And well, when I bought Marco Arnautovic, he was about 6.8, and now he's about 7. So, and well, Marco Arnautovic and Lanzini both were the same price, but Arnautovic price has been increased a little right now. But no matter what, they both are in pretty good form right now. And the most interesting thing is that their fixtures are so easy right now, and so easy. You can benefit from them so much with this. Just look at the fixtures. These games are very easy for them, and most of the 4 games, 3 of the games are at home, and the form they are in, I think they will deliver a lot of points. And I think 7 and 6.8 for the midfielders, I think these are pretty good value for the form they are in right now and the fixtures they have. So I do think, I personally really strongly suggest you to have at least Marco Arnautovic or Lanzini in your team. But I have Marco because I did purchase him a lot earlier, so I didn't want to remove Marco. So if you are going for a new midfielder, I do suggest you go for Marco Arnautovic or Lanzini. And well, and the other, just in case you want to spend a little less, but you want players who you can rely on, I think you should go for Gross more than Moy, because I think Gross has pretty easy, very easy fixtures except for game 24. The other fixtures are pretty easy, as you can see. So I do think you should go for Gross rather than Moy, just in case you want to spend a little less money, that you just don't have enough money to buy Arnautovic or Lanzini. I think you should go for Gross. because the fixtures of Moi these are not the fixtures you would want to see right now, because these are pretty difficult fixtures for them. And Moi he did start his season pretty well, but right now he's just not in the game right now. So firstly, I strongly suggest you to at least have Marco Arnautovic or Lanzini. These are, I think, pretty cheap if you see the midfield prices. De Bruyne, Hazard, Alexis Sanchez, they are pretty expensive. So if you want to get good points in upcoming game week 24, not only 24 for the rest of the season, I do think you should firstly go for Arnautovic or Lanzini. Just in case you don't want to spend enough of that money, you should go for Gross. And you don't even have money for Gross, then you should definitely go for Moi. Well, okay then, going into the low budget strikers, I have two strikers, but I will personally say that don't invest less in your attackers, because in this part of the season you would want to be investing more of your money in your midfielders and attackers. So I wouldn't say just to invest less in your attackers, but just in case you want the strikers to fill your pot and still get some points, then I would go for Colin Garner and Ayew. And firstly, Garner, I bought him just to fill my pot, but I noticed that he's been playing at least some points. He didn't play against West Ham because he was injured, but he will be back in the game week 24. I don't know if he will be playing, but he's in my bench, so I don't really care. I just have him to fill my pot, and I know he's the cheapest. He was 4.5 when I bought. Now he's 4.6 because of his playing time. It has increased. And well, just in case you want the player to be in the bench and still play some minutes and get you some points in case of some emergency and stuff, Colin Garner is the player you should go for. And just in case you want to invest a little less in your attackers, which I don't suggest, you should go for Jordan Ayew, because he's in form. He's been scoring a lot of goals and playing every game. As you can see, the points he has been delivering, these are pretty good points for the price of, I think, 5.1. He was 5 actually. Now the points have been increased, and well, I do suggest you to go for the Jordan Ayew, just in case you want a cheap player who you can rely on. Although the fixtures and the form of Swansea is not in Jordan Ayew's favor, I do think if you want to use less money in attackers, you should go for Jordan Ayew. And if you want a player to be in your bench but still deliver some points just in case of sudden injuries and emergencies, you should go for Colin Garner. And well, for the goalkeepers, I chose I decided to keep both the categories in one screen, but I don't think there are much more options or selections when it comes to goalkeepers. I personally would suggest I always have De Gea in my team, because I do know he will be the one who will be ending with more points at the end of the season. So I always choose De Gea no matter what. But the recent fixtures of Thibaut Courtois and his recent form, I mean the Chelsea's recent non-goal conceding form, has been great right now. And you can see the points. This is just very good points for the I think 5.5 goalkeeper. And I think because of the price and the fixtures, I went for Thibaut Courtois. I personally have Thibaut Courtois as a keeper, and look at these fixtures. These are pretty darn good fixtures. And he might concede in game week 24, I don't know, but I do hope that he will keep at least 2 of the clean sheets from these 4 games. And I guess I will be taking Courtois off after these 4 games. I'm not sure about it, but in recent form and fixtures, you should go for Thibaut Courtois. But I did choose De Gea because you just don't know. De Gea is a very good keeper, and the defense will be strong and is strong after the Valencia return, and he did not concede a goal in last game with 2. And you can see, as I told you, De Gea is a very good keeper. He will be always the one to be ending up with more points at the end of the season. But according to fixtures, I didn't want to choose De Gea, and so I did go for Thibaut Courtois. And as I told you, I wanted to invest more of my money in my midfielders and attackers, so I had to reduce the price of the defense and goalkeeper. So I did take off De Gea for Courtois. And just in case you want to use a lot less money for your goalkeeper, you should go for Adrian because of the fixtures. And now Johart is nowhere to be seen right now. He's not playing any game, and the fixtures for the West Ham United is, I think this is pretty good fixtures right now, and he's been playing every minute, as you can see. Although Joe Hart is a competition, he's not playing at all, and you should go for Adrian if you have no money to use. But just in case you have enough money to use, you should go for Thibaut Courtois for upcoming 3 to 4 games, because I'm sure he will get you good points. And so yeah, well, these were my low budget players for the first team and the bench. So what do you think of the players that I chose? And I will so appreciate your comments and my views. So well, please comment down about the players that I chose and what do you think about it. And please like and subscribe my channel for more of the content, and see you till the next time.